Episode 118, Rule of Reciprocity. Now, this is probably something you don't hear a lot about and you wouldn't think about, but if you really get into it, it actually works. How generosity boosts marketing strategies and customer acquisition. The rule of reciprocity, remember this, small and medium sized business people, is one of the most powerful marketing tactics that drive customer acquisition and growth. Yet many small businesses misunderstand the impact. We dive into effective marketing strategies that use generosity as a tool to build trust and loyalty. Now remember, we're talking small businesses, trust and loyalty always kind of sticks up there. Discover how giving first influences customer behavior and strengthens your marketing efforts. This episode isn't about gimmicks, but about tapping into human nature to create meaningful connections that inspire actions. If you're looking to enhance your local advertising strategies to attract and retain customers, this discussion on the rule of reciprocity will transform how you approach your marketing for small business success. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And Adriana Alvarez, your mic is always open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anymore, because I don't know how it happens, but we all take orders from a 22-year-old, and I'm not sure when that happened, but I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah, mine are 18 and 19.
All right. Well, around here, it's just different.
You're moving up in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a big customer around here, and 3 or 4 years ago, we did not deliver. We weren't the organization of sports streaming that we are now, but we sold it as we were, and we could not deliver. And it was kind of a bad, I see the guy publicly out, hey, yeah, we could do something, this and that. And I knew that we had to do something to repair that relationship. So I listened to this podcast, or actually I hosted it, when you talked about sometimes in different situations, you've got to give stuff away free. Mm-hmm. So I went yesterday. I'm following two things that you taught us here. You're like, it's got to be regular. It's got to be a routine that you are marketing regular, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's 2 hours. I'm trying to do 2 hours a day. And in the first 2 hours, I can't believe just doing marketing at home with nobody around has made a big difference in one day. But I sent them something and called, and I say, here's what we want to do. We want to give you free advertising for this amount of time. And, there's probably a value of about this. And there's no pressure at the end of it. We're not, looking to leverage it to a... I heard back in about 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're in. Thank you. We've always wanted to come back. We just, I have the Zoom call here in about 20 minutes. So that is something I took out of this podcast. One, you got to do your routine. Every day you got to work on your marketing just a little bit. And then two, every once in a while you got to give something away for free. Now, this was a relationship repair kind of thing, but I'm starting to see other areas where we should be giving away some free advertising to people. My guys don't want to do it. But, if you're talking a 3 to 5 year time frame versus 3 month time frame, which is what we have, a 3 to 5 year time frame, what do you give away 3 months of free advertising and they sign up for 3 years?
Yeah, no, we've had these conversations. I think I've told you about the boss that I had years ago that he was trying to get one of the airlines into the magazine that I worked for, and he took him golfing. He said, let's go golfing. And, this CMO or whatever it was, the chief marketing officer of this airline was basically like, I'm not buying, happy to go golfing, but, we're not buying. So he sat down the hole one, and my boss was a really good golfer. He said, you beat me 18 holes fair and square. I'll give you a year advertising for free, back cover. And they shook on it in hole one. And I know my boss, he didn't throw it because that's just how he is in golfing. And I think he ended up losing by a couple strokes. And this CMO was like, all right, pay up. And he goes, all right, no problem. And he goes, seriously, you're going to pay up? And I mean, it was, hundreds of thousands of dollars that he was giving away for free. And he said, yeah, I made the bet. This is what we're going to do. And we got them in. We put them on the back cover. And they continue to advertise with us for 6 years after that.
So the time frame.
Yeah.
And let's bring that up for the small and medium-sized business. And I think, Adriana, you're understanding that here. We're a 102-year-old radio station. It kind of applies to our new internet. We take our time, and it's about building a relationship. But if you're in a local market, you're in Peru, Indiana, and you want to build a relationship with B2B or whatever, you have to be able to stretch the timeline. So in this situation, I don't have any expectations, but I mean, honestly,
you're making a wrong or right.
I'm making a wrong or right, and I mean, I don't know if we've ever done that where we did not live up to it, and it was at a bad time. We were too busy. We took too much advertising, and we were growing at the same time, and it was a bad combo, and I didn't do it, and I know that. So that was the repair. Now, there are a lot of other situations where you have to look at what you're going to give away. Look at this one. Let's go straight to free chips and salsa. Do you expect that when you go in?
For certain places, yeah, usually they'll either they'll give you something on the table. And I've noticed some restaurants around here, they're very different. It's either the chips and salsa, the bread. I know some places they do popcorn, and I've never seen that one. And that is like, oh, okay.
Chips and salsa is changing.
Oh, no, it is.
People are charging, and I've gone to a same place for like 30 years, and I went in the other day and got chips and salsa, and they put it on the table, and I saw my bill at the end of it was like $4 higher than it normally was.
And they keep charging you each time that they bring you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, funny enough, we don't necessarily go to restaurants and sit. We usually get a lot of takeout, from a Mexican restaurant. And the other day, my daughter was away at something, and we just didn't want to cook. And my wife goes, well, let's get some tacos from somewhere. I said, okay, where do you want to go? And she goes, I want chips and salsa, so order from this company. And I started laughing because she knows there are 3 different restaurants that we order from, and there's only one that throws in free chips and salsa with the to-go. The other 2 don't. So the funny part about it is they're about double the price than the other 2, but because in her mind we got free chips and salsa, even though we paid twice the amount for the tacos that we got. We're probably paying for the chips and salsa, but she sees it as free chips and salsa because we weren't charged for it, but we're paying more per taco. So yeah.
So the guy who owns this should talk to you, because I looked at the menu too, and I go, they really haven't done their prices. So to cover higher costs, they are now charging for things that other people expected. And I think I've been there a couple times. I think it's the lower head counts coming in.
Yeah.
And just on charging for chips and salsa.
Yeah. Which, again, chips and salsas shouldn't cost you that much. But.
Who has the best chips and salsa in the region?
Oh, see, I have to say it's a place in the harbor. Oh, my goodness.
La Michoacan?
No, it's not La Michoacan. It's like right there in the harbor where like all the kind of shops are, and the barber shops that's over there. I don't remember the name of it.
So my favorite is El Taco Real. And it's just they make it, and then they give you like a tomato sauce, simple salsa, and that's really good. Yeah. Some of these other Mexican restaurants, they put the quesadilla in with the salsa, so it's kind of like this mix, and I'm not a big fan of that. But anyways,
you like your tomato soup with your chips.
All right, what
which
else?
is good.
Let's talk about other freebies.
So here I want to talk about this one. So I was doing some research, and I found this. I was on Reddit, and I was going through a bunch of different comments. And if you haven't gone to Reddit to look for different ideas for marketing, it is a gold mine for just different crazy things.
Can I say a Reddit one after his story? I mean, you're the arbiter.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So there was a post on there, and it was a toy store. And what he does is he gives out stickers to the kids, but he gives them a pouch of treasure, right? So he'll give them some kind of pouch, and he puts a coin in there. And every time they come back, they get another coin.
Does it say anything like the coin you just gave me?
Yeah, no, it doesn't say that. But they get these coins, and after so many coins, they can come back and trade those coins in for a free gift from the toy store, right? So the kids are wanting to continually come back and fill their treasure because every time they walk in, they get another coin to put in their treasure chest. And I thought it's just such a cool idea, especially for a toy store. And I'm just like, I want to steal it and put it into play somewhere. But we did a presentation to a jeweler years ago, and one of the tactics that we threw out there was we were going to walk around and we had this treasure chest that you could buy, and you would put 5 different items in there, and you would get, I think it was like 1,000 skeleton keys. And we were going to literally go out and hand them out to just random businesses and random people in the area, and attached to the key was the jewelry store, and it said, come in for your chance to get part of the treasure, right? And there were 5 keys that would open up the treasure chest. So if you go in there, you put the key in, doesn't open, you didn't win. But, they would have $1,000 necklace, or they'd have $1,000 earrings, or whatever it was. So the idea was to drive traffic in the door. You're giving away a free key, which is nothing, but there's the opportunity to actually win some significant prizes. And it was funny, like, I was all in for this. I'm like, let's do this. This is going to be great. You're going to get so much traffic. And they're just like, eh. And I went, oh. So anyone that's out there listening, trust me, go do this. It would be such a huge, huge promotion for you.
So, Reddit. You brought up Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all of a sudden a big Reddit person, but mostly it's coming in my emails. But I've gone on the site too, and they had a guy telling his story about how he had built up roughly 300,000 followers on Facebook, and Facebook just canceled them without saying anything about why or what it was. Just done. And took it a whole account away. Does that happen ever?
Oh, it happens all the time. Yeah, that's why I always say. That's why I tell everyone, you can build your followers online, but make sure that you're pulling them off in some capacity, which is why we talk about email so much. So figure out a way to get.
But why would they do that?
That's a good question. You'll have to ask Zuck.
It was just the guy's podcast, and then he put up some merch, and he just had a little brand.
They quote unquote violated something is what they'll tell you.
But they could do it without telling you?
They could do that in a heartbeat. It can disappear tomorrow.
So, all right, what about
not to scare you, but
well, I'm not really. That's one of the reasons we got off of Facebook and built our own platform. Yeah. It took a long time, but I'm worried about a couple other guys I know that's their whole business. But anyways,
well, that can also happen with YouTube too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, also it's all the copyright music that's played on YouTube while we go live. They can terminate us at any point in time if they want to.
So we're getting better at not playing the copyright.
No, you're not getting better at playing the copyright. You do it in the morning when you hit live and you still have copyright music playing. Sorry
about that.
Yeah.
If we get pulled down, we'll know why.
Yeah.
Hey.
So how are you going to feel about it when you get pulled? No, just kidding.
Oh, he's going to get all the people texting him nonstop.
Well, I didn't want to do YouTube. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to move here and just go back to radio. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, well, but it's a nice
You talk about copywriting. Mm-hmm. We talked about, the students that launched their own podcast network. The first one that we launched had copyrighted images on the cover art, and I said, you can't do that. Mm-mm. Right? Like, we had to change. So it's learning lessons again. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, they do some intro music, and they use a copyrighted.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen.
What about a birthday thing? Some sort of free birthday thing.
Right. I mean, we were talking about restaurants earlier, and you get a free dessert or.
I got like a whole list of stuff where you get free stuff. It's amazing.
Right. So let's
For
go
your
to
birthday.
Let's go to Sephora, right? my daughter has a birthday, and she goes, "Hey, by the way, why don't we sign you up for a Sephora free gift?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Yep.
She signs me up, and I get my free gift in Sephora. I go, what am I free gifting? And she goes, "Don't worry, I'll pick it out." So I walk up to the lady one day, and I go, "I'm here for my free gift." And she just starts laughing. She goes, "Here, you get to choose from this lip liner or," and I'm going, "Oh, goodness." I'm just laughing about it, right? But even with me doing that, my daughter ended up buying something when we went there for that. So I got this free little gift that she took home with her, but she purchased something else because she felt obligated because you've been given something, right? So even to the point where I was walking out of one of my classes the other day, and there's a double door in the building that we're in. So the first door I walk through, and this student holds the door from me. I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I don't see that often anymore." But I went to the next door, and I opened that door, and I said, "Well, I don't want to be in debt to you, so let me hold this door for you." So, but that's the human psychology, is that we feel in debt to someone that gives us something, right? So if
Is that the rule of reciprocity?
I mean, it is, but it's like, have you helped somebody move? Okay. When you move, guess what? You're getting a phone call, right? Like, there's all of these things that we do in life, but from a marketing standpoint, if you give somebody something small, they're going to feel obligated to give it back in some way, shape, or form.
Is there some sort of benchmark amount, a percentage, like a 1% of what you think they're going to come back and spend? Are you willing to give away a 3%
Right.
on average? There's nothing like that?
Well, we used to give away little glass ornaments when people were shopping for Christmas and such, but those would cost us $1, and we saw our average ticket go up like $23. So I'm going to spend $1, give it away, and our average ticket's going to go up $23, and our average number of orders went up. Okay, all day long.
Wouldn't you have hated to work on the floor next to him? Now, you work on the floor at Cracker Barrel still.
Yes.
Can you imagine him knowing that if I give away a $1 thing, I'm going to get a $23 higher ticket? I mean, somebody counting all that stuff
God.
all the time. That's really what it comes down to. You just counted everything.
Pretty much.
So the average small business, you want to give something away, you want to just establish a relationship. You'd hope they would use you and your product or service, but it also establishes a relationship. You've got one down here on the thing about free inspections, plumber versus 79 cents or $79.
Yeah.
What are you talking? I have a feeling I know what it means, but how does that work?
So I have been charged for a company just to come out and look at something, right? Like, well, there's going to be a $79 charge just for sending somebody out. Then I was driving yesterday, and I was behind a plumber that on the back it says free inspections always or something like that. And it's in my mind now because there's a plumber that I have gone to over and over and over again for years. But now in my mind, I know they're charging me regardless if there's something that they can fix or not. But I saw it yesterday, free inspections, and I'm not going to name names, but I know who they are. And I know, okay, well, if I need to call somebody at this point, I can save the $79 that is, it's going to charge me to come and look at my problem. Now, they may take that same $79 and put it into the price, and I won't know any difference. But the fact that I'm willing to call them over the other one at this point, just because they're giving me something of value for quote unquote free, that's a difference, right? So that's a difference maker in the market.
That's similar to the free chips and salsa.
Yeah, it's all the same. I mean, really, it's all the same. Even when I sit down, somebody says, "I want to talk to you about marketing, consulting, helping our business, those types of things." What I tell everyone is, okay, when do you want to talk? Well, how much is it for you to come out and talk with me? There's no cost. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I go, "We're going to sit down and we're going to figure out if we can work together. And then we'll talk about what what you would be charged or whatever. But let's figure out if we can actually help each other first. So we sit down and we start talking about different things. What are you doing? What works? What doesn't? Here's some ideas. Literally, those conversations flip the script. So I'm not out there selling anything. I'm out there giving advice. And by the time I'm done with that, people are, I would say 90% of the conversations I have are like, okay, when can we get started? Because I'm giving the advice already. I'm telling them that here's where we can go. Here's what I'm seeing from you already. This is where you need to go. But I'm not going to say, like, I'm going to charge you $79 to sit down and have a conversation with you. I mean, that doesn't work, right? So you're building rapport. You're building a relationship between two people.
The rule of reciprocity, how generosity boosts marketing strategies and customer acquisition. If you remember anything out of this, it is he gave away a $1 ornament and increased his average ticket by $23.
Yep.
If you remember another thing I gave away as a relationship repair, you got to give it away. I was in one of these buffet kind of restaurants that had just opened, and they had kind of screwed up one part of somebody's order, and they were adamant that they had to pay for like everything else, and then we'll fix it, but you'll have to pay for that.
Yep.
And I was like, man, they're not going to last, and they didn't last 3 months.
They're never coming back.
Yeah, they didn't come back, but the restaurant had the wrong attitude about it. Anyways, this is episode 118. Matt, thank you.
Thank you.
Adriana, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
But mostly thank you for listening and watching. Tell a friend. If there's something you want us to talk about, or you want to get interviewed, or you want to be part of the podcast, you think you can add something, you get a hold of Matt at digitalhelium.com. Is that the right
that'll
one?
Work.
All right. Until next time, see you later.